few late stragglers just coming in at the end, but welcome to the Croydon Pin meeting. It's a surprise to have you here on such a nice day outside, to be inside listening to property in the air conditioning. But yeah, I'm glad you could all make it. I think we're getting for a great night tonight. We've got some great speakers, and I think it should be a really good evening. I'm really looking forward to it. So, before we start, who's been to a PIN meeting before? Okay, and who's here for the first time? Okay, so there's a few people, that's great. Welcome. I hope you find it to be a pleasant evening. And one of the things that we like to do here is we like to make it a bit of a friendly environment. People are here to help each other. I guess ultimately to learn from some experienced people, but also to be able to help each other. So there'll be people in the room who are sourcing deals, people in dressing, there'll be architects, builders, a great mix of people. So, and just to support each other along the line as well, provide help when it all gets a little bit tough. So, a little bit about me. I'm Australian, might be able to tell by my accent, and I don't mind mentioning that after the World Cup, which happened recently, if anyone's into cricket. Yeah, so that was a nice little result. I've been over here for about 10 years, and I had a property in Australia which tripled in value and paid itself off over a period of 15 years. And I thought this property thing's pretty good, how do I do more of this stuff? And I tried to do it in Australia, but I just really couldn't get things to stack up because it's a lot more competitive in the market over there in Australia. It's the Australian dream to buy a house, and so everyone really tries to do it before they tries to get off renting and buying their own property, which pushes house prices up and makes the rent a little bit less. But I was surprised when I came over here that the yields are much better, and so I couldn't wait to get into the market. So the way I wanted to learn about it and how to invest. So I went on Amazon, had a look at all the best books about property. There was one called Property Magic. I read that, thought that was fantastic. Who here's read Property Magic? Okay, quite a few people. It's a good place to get started. It really gives you a good overview of how to get involved in property and what to be thinking about. That mentioned these meetings here. There's about 50 of them throughout the country. And I went to the Blackfriars Pin, which is a lot bigger than this one. Some people find it a little bit overwhelming, the amount of people in the room. But it was a great meeting, and I met some really interesting people in there. And I think one of the things that I liked about it when I met these people, particularly the people that had gone through the course, one of the things that I remember, I met an architect who'd done the course, and she was saying that she'd met some really good friends, and she's made some great relationships with people on that course. And it's not so much like it's a Match.com type thing, but it's a nice environment. It's nice to get surrounded by people who have a similar interest, I think. I think property people can be a bit of a unique bunch, and I often find when I talk to other people who aren't into property, about property, their eyes start to glaze over, even more so than when I used to work in IT. So it's a nice supportive environment, and I guess that sort of leads on to this evening. So just to talk about setting what we're going to be doing tonight. So we'll be looking to finish about 9 o'clock. I hope, according to our last speaker, if we finish on 9 o'clock. Last time she was here, it went a little bit over. But we'll try and whip her into shape tonight. So the introduction, which I just did then, maybe less gracefully. We'll have a mortgage update about what's happening in the mortgage market. Then we'll have Christine Hertog, who is host of the Cambridge Pin. Has anyone been to the Cambridge Pin? A bit of a distance from here. Okay, a couple of people.
Well done.
I'm sure she'll get you back up there again. And the rest of you, maybe we should have a field trip up to the Cambridge Pin. Then we'll have a break and have a prize draw, an exciting prize draw, which I'll mention a little bit later. And then we'll have Susanna Cole, who's... did anyone see Susanna speak here about a year ago? Yes, I think that all their helpers did. That's not a surprise, I guess. But Susanna's great, and I was really excited to have her back. So we've got two fantastic speakers, much better than we had last month. I think Danish will agree with that. Great. And then we'll have some announcements, and we should be finishing at 9 o'clock. So as I mentioned, it's a supportive environment. We have the monthly meetings, educational products such as books, videos, DVDs, that type of thing. We've got a new sign here, which I opened up and saw for the first time when I brought it along here today. It talks a little bit about the process or the ways of getting involved in the program, I guess, what I did. So I bought the book and came to these one day, the evening courses, and then there's a one-day course if you're interested in knowing more. Really gets you started on the getting involved in property, how to buy properties below market value, the things to be thinking about with the property investing. Then there's with the sound, it's a little bit toppy. Is it about okay to get it reduced a little bit? Thank you. Then people then can go onto the 3-day course, which is a more intense 3 days. It's quite involved, and I guess that's a good reminder. If you've got your phones in your pockets, it's probably a good time to switch them off before we get to the important people. So there's the 3-day course if anyone's interested, and then there's the 12-month course as well, and there's happy smiling faces of people who have been on the 12-month course doing well with property. More details about that course down here. So has anyone here gone through and done the mastermind program? I think there's a few people. So just keep your hands up if you don't mind. So if anyone's interested in knowing about any of these, please spot these people and go and have a chat with them. As I mentioned, there's a 3-day accelerator and the mastermind program as well. There's also the PIN Academy, which is an online portal where there's a forum for people helping each other, giving advice, people finding deals so that people can invest in other people's deals that are other successful people. There's web training, there's video courses, lots of other stuff on there. And also by joining the PIN Academy, you get to go to all the PIN meetings throughout the country, which there's now 50. Is it 50, Christine? 52. There we go. Christine stays up on the details of these type of things. So now we'll have the mortgage update from Mark.